What's up, guys? This is your man DX. Welcome back to the Elite DX channel. And today, I'm doing something a little bit different today. But first of all, I just want to remark and ask, isn't it amazing how much the quality of television has degraded or been degraded in the last few decades? Just a few short decades ago, we had intelligent, thoughtful, or just funny shows that made you laugh, but still garnered some kind of intelligence on your part. And now they just hit you with a steady barrage of ridiculous people who don't even know how to make sense out of their own lives. A steady parade of narcissistic, conceited women who don't know what the inside of a gym looks like and haven't seen a treadmill in years, if even ever. And a bunch of blue pill beta male simps like Steve Harvey. And so I have just one thing to say to Steve Harvey before I start this video off. And that is...
Oh, you get out of my way, you simp.
That's right. I'm coming straight down the middle, you simp. And I'm gonna say the things that you won't say because you don't want to lose your cushy life in Hollywood that you've built for yourself. And on top of that, you don't have the balls to say what I'm about to say. Now, Steve Harvey has a segment on his show called Ask Steve. And he has women mostly in his audience, so somebody will stand up and ask him a question, like usually has to do with romance or whatever, relationships. So this chick here that you see on the screen stood up and asked him basically why she doesn't have a man. And since she likes to go to the club and dance and blow her whistle at the same time, should she get rid of the whistle because she's thinking that maybe the whistle is scaring men off? A silly question, I know, but let's just examine a little bit of something here. First of all, you know that Steve Harvey is not going to be honest with this woman and say what really needs to be said and what exactly is turning men off. He's not going to tell the truth. But let's just watch a little bit of it and see what he says.
Hi, Steve. I love to dance and I love to go out. But when I go out, I blow a whistle, and I'm known around town as the whistle girl. I jump around to house music while blowing a whistle. When I meet guys, they don't take me serious, and I want someone to take me serious. Do I have to give up the whistle in order for guys to take me serious? I got the whistle here. What's wrong, Steve? What's wrong, Steve? Y'all got any music?
Wait a minute. I mean,
let me ask you something. What's wrong with me blowing a whistle?
The other man can't talk. Okay, come here. Can you come? That's what you do?
I jump around. It's to music, Steve, though. I dance. I love to dance.
At a club?
Yeah, at a club. It's house music. Come on, don't you remember Soul Train Line?
Can I see what you do?
Give me some music.
Okay, give us some music. Yeah, you running all the men off with that doggone whistle. You ought to throw that whistle away. Don't nobody want to be out there with all that noise. That's why you ain't got no man. You ain't got no man.
So pretty much the only advice he has for her is, yes, get rid of that damn whistle. Don't nobody want to be out there with all that noise. I mean, that's it. And he did tell her that she talks a little too much. But Meanwhile, there's a 450-pound elephant in the room that he's ignoring. More accurately, there's a 250-pound elephant in a red and black outfit that's standing right in front of him. But Steve Harvey is never going to say what actually needs to be said because he doesn't want to lose his audience. Most of his audience is women who don't work, who found a beta male provider sucker to take care of them. And so they have a lot of time, so they sit home and they watch Steve Harvey. That's his audience, mostly. And we know also that those are the women who tend to be overweight and obese. So no, he's not going to say anything. But I will. And yes, part of her problem probably is that damn whistle, because it is so annoying. I would say that most men probably are not going to want to sit there and dance with you while you're blowing that loud whistle. First of all, it's loud as hell. Second of all, I'm thinking back to when I used to go to clubs and things like that. I didn't want to attract that much attention, actually. So it's kind of embarrassing. And not only that, it's kind of rude. Unless it's a kind of a club where people generally do that sort of thing. You're just kind of taking the liberty of doing it yourself without even considering anybody else. So that's kind of rude. And of course, the fact that she wouldn't let him get a word in edgewise, and she probably does that with men. She probably overtalks and she, cuts you off and she won't let you get a word in edgewise. That's kind of annoying as well. But those are minor problems that can be fixed. The main problem here is something that he's overlooking and he's not mentioning, which is that your belly sticks out almost just as far as your mammaries. And for those who are not educated, I mean as far as her boobs, her breasts, her titties. Okay, her belly sticks out almost as far as those. And she has these massive thighs. Now, Steve Harvey is about 6 feet tall. They list him as 6'1", but I think he's more like 6 feet tall. So if you look at this picture and see just how much shorter than him she is, and she has on boots with probably like a 2-inch heel. So this woman could probably say she's around 4'11" or 5 feet even. No way she should be this big. So that right there is your main problem, big girl. You're too damn big. Is she hideously overweight or obese? No, she's not. But she is too big for her height. And she is overweight. You're too big for the type of man that you want. And without even knowing her, and without even her answering that question, I already know what kind of man she wants. Because as we all know, women are extremely picky these days, and they feel they have the right to be picky. So without her even saying it, I know she wants a guy who's at least 6 feet tall, works out and has a six-pack, and has at least a 6-figure income. That's the standard wish list for all women these days. So we know that. But here is what these big women like this don't understand about men, and that they refuse to acknowledge. Okay, a guy like the one she is looking for is not going to want her. At least not seriously. I mean, sure, a guy who's a 10 or a 9, in other words, has all the criteria checked off that they're looking for. He might call you up on a night when he's not busy and there's nothing to do. He might, take you out for a drink and go ahead and bed you down. But pretty soon he's going to dump you. And that's about the extent of the interest she's going to get from a guy who's a 10, which is what she wants. Now, the type of guy that she can get is the type of guy that she doesn't want. It might be a guy who's not exactly 6 feet. He might be 5'10", and she probably would say, no, that's too short. It might be a guy who has a few extra pounds and doesn't necessarily work out every day. He doesn't have a six-pack. And she'll say, no, I don't want that. Or it might be a guy who makes about the same as she does, or maybe just a tad bit more, maybe a $2,000, $3,000 more a year than she does. And of course, she's going to say to that, no, that's not good enough. I ain't attracted to him. Because they want the full trifecta and they think they deserve it. She wants somebody who makes about double what she makes every year. She wants somebody who works out religiously, has a tight body and six-pack abs, and she wants somebody who's 6 feet 2, 3. She might even turn down a guy who is 6 feet even. Knowing these women nowadays. And it amazes me how many double standards these delusional women have. And they will completely think it's okay, and they'll justify it 24/7. And truth be told, that's probably part of the problem with this chick too. Not only is she overweight, but she's probably very demanding and also has a lot of double standards for whoever she's going to be with, and she's probably picky as hell. So no, Steve, it's not just because the damn whistle is annoying and makes a lot of noise. This chick needs to start by hitting the gym, hitting the treadmill, go jogging, and don't just sit around on her fat ass. But you know that Steve the Simp is not going to say that. He's never going to say anything like that. And here's why. Take a look at this picture. This is the typical audience for Steve Harvey, the ones who basically put money in his pocket. Look at the two chicks behind the whistle girl. They both have massive bellies that stick out just as far as their breasts. And look at the woman to the left of the screen behind the whistle girl in the black and white dress. Again, huge stomach. This is one of the biggest problems we have in the Western world, is that almost nobody is willing to tell women what they really need to hear, for fear of being blackballed, losing their career, being called a misogynist, losing the money they're making off of women, or whatever. There's a myriad of reasons, but nobody is willing to tell them what they need to hear. And sometimes tough love is the most effective way to bring about a change of heart in a person and make them change their attitude and their pattern of thinking. There was a time in this very country, not too long ago, when we told people, including women, that it was actually unhealthy to be overweight. And not only that, we told them that it was unsightly to be overweight. And we didn't cause all kinds of hysteria and nervous breakdowns and massive amounts of stress-related diseases by telling people that. I mean, people were okay. But now, just a few decades later, people get so triggered and they act like you just mass murdered a whole gang of people just because you speak the truth. Girl, you need to lose some weight. It's no wonder that so many men are just throwing their hands up and just walking away from this mess. But fellas, this is not going to end well for them. Just you wait and see. Anyway, I believe that's just about it for this video. Go ahead and leave me some comments down below. I'd like to hear from you guys. I'd like to know what you think about how the mainstream media coddles women and doesn't tell them the truth. And also, I'd like to know if you have anybody in your life that you have noticed that needs to lose some weight. Some women, sister, aunt, wife, girlfriend, whatever, mother, and you just say, hey, you need to lose some weight. Have you ever been that direct with someone? Let me know. And hit that like button right after you leave your comment. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you think you are subscribed to my channel, just verify that and make sure. Try to spread this video around on social media so the word can get out. Any platform you would like to. Doesn't matter. It's okay. And last but not least, tell a friend about my channel. Tell them to go ahead and check it out and see what they think. Until next time, this is your man DX, and I am out.